Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here. Another season of Final Upgrade. Taos X, the developer, finally released the 1.0 version, and I was excited when I first found the game. I'm excited now. Like, there's been so much improvement, so much change in between our first season up until now. There was a release of like a temporary version 2 that greatly changed how stations work. I can talk. Trust me. I'm not a parrot. Want a cracker. A lot has changed about the game. And a lot of those changes in the version 2 were incorporated back into the core branch. I'm going to say like code or whatever. So what we're going to be playing is the 1.0 release. We're already on .11 of 1.0. And I've been working with the developer quite a bit trying to do testing. I've been doing a lot of like user interface testing and stuff. And so I'm super excited to get into this fresh. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go a lot quicker than we were in our first season. I'm not learning the game anymore. But for the first season, I wanted it to be very organic. Like, I'm learning, you're learning. If you're playing along with me, we're figuring out the same stuff as we're going and everything. And a lot of good comments came out of it and a lot of help to get me much better to where I'm happy playing the game. I'm not so much the, I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know how more I can stress this, but a lot of great stuff has changed. A lot of new stuff. So we're going to do a new game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all my custom stuff. We're going to come completely fresh. We're going to start our very own everything. So we're going to start the game. We're going to pause the game. We're going to go immediately and delete all of our modules, all of our custom ships. I'm nuking everything. We're starting completely from scratch. Whew, it gave me the chills just saying that because I put a lot of work, I thought, into like my MCV, for example, like my mobile construction vehicle. I was really happy with that. I was happy with my traders. I was happy with everything. But we're going to go just completely fresh. Let's see here. There's also way more difficulty levels that add way more options. If it's your first time playing, easy is a really great way to start. Easy or normal, perfect way to start. We're going to go ultra hard. The difference between ultra hard and master is there's like a randomized tech tree. I don't want to do that. Like, I had a lot of fun with that and I play that in my single player game, but we're going to go ultra hard. So what does that include? The tutorial and the hints are off. Planets require upgrades. So there's orders they're going to put in. They're going to be like, hey, I need carbon. Send me some carbon to upgrade. The planetary deposit also needs upgrades in order for us to get the planet producing more product. The planet deposit consumes resources. So this is a huge difference. In the earlier version of the game, if we came across a planet that produced carbon, raw carbon ore, we would just get it, we'd process it, and then distribute it. Now, the planet produces nothing until we bring a stock that it needs to produce that product, which makes way more sense to me. You need the mining equipment before you can do the mining, right? Like, yeah, perfect. The alternate research mode is a lot of fun to play, but we're not going to do that. Long run, not going to worry about that. It makes everything more, slower. Energy consumption multiplier. Things are going to cost way more energy the more machines we have, so we're going to leave that on. We don't have abundant resources. We don't have whole map explored. We don't have all techs unlocked. We don't have full memory available, and we don't have peaceful mode. We are going to have to get into some combat. Now, combat's been very much reduxed, and I'm not going to go into it too much until we get to it. So, that's all there is to that. We don't have to really worry about any of this. We're not going to be attacked unless we start the fight, which is fine by me. So we'll start it ultra hard. And like I said, we're not brand new to this, but I'm going to give you a very brief overview of what's been different, and then we're going to get started. So I'm just going to pause the game. I'm going to do exactly what I said. We're going to go to our custom ships. We're going to nuke everything. Hello? Custom. Destroyer. Delete. Remove. Yep. This is going to be a little bit of a process, but that's okay. Can I remove? Oh, that's us. Okay. Destroyer Mark II. Yep. Remove. Just so you show how legitimate I'm going to be about this, we're going to remove every single one of our ships, every single one of our everything. We're starting from scratch. Now, when it really comes down to it, I can actually talk about some of the changes while I'm doing this. I didn't find a faster way to remove these blueprints and ships and modules and stuff, but this shouldn't take super, super long. One of the things is, since I've already mentioned, planets don't just produce material. We need to... Oop, that's not what I wanted. We need to bring material to the planets. Now, if every single planet is in that sort of a status, how the heck are we going to get materials, you might ask? Well, asteroids. Asteroids are exactly how we're going to bring materials to planets. And in the first version of the game, the one we did Season 1 on, there honestly was not a real need for asteroids. They were cute, but they didn't really matter a ton. Now, they absolutely matter. Oh man, this hurts. This kind of hurts. I'm just getting rid of everything. We're starting completely from scratch. I think it's going to be a little bit more fun. There's also a bunch of rebalancing that's been done. I don't think our perpetual energy generator, or as I like to call it, PEG, P-E-G, I don't think that works anymore, to be completely honest. I think that was reworked a little bit. So I don't know if it works as well as it should. I don't know any of this stuff works anymore, and that's totally fine. I wanted a nice, clean, fresh start and all that. So we're probably going to start our game with iron and oil. Oh yeah, that's our nuclear foundry with all our research. And then we're just going to start building up from there. But of course, I'm going to have to mine asteroids and really start from scratch. So we're going to rely a little bit more on our flagship. Yep, there's PEG. Boop. And raw storage to whatever that is. Cool. So just to show, I have no custom blueprints. We're completely starting from scratch. We're going to have a really good time, right? I know I am, and I hope you are too. So stick in. We're going to get through Season 2 of Final Upgrade. Just had to adjust my headset real quick. Okay, I've got no more blueprints. This is our flagship now. Drastically different than it was before. We have some iron. We have a research thing. We've got some batteries. I wouldn't mind to do some building and stuff, but we have to do some research first. We don't have any research. Oh, another really great thing. This has all been redone as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful tree system. Technology is broken into packages. So Tech Package 1 opens up all this. Tech Package 2, the next, the next, the next, the next. It adds a nice little checkpoint. And it allows us to do stuff a little more formulaically. So I have how much? 40,000 memory. What I am going to need is iron extraction. And all I did was right-click. Right-click automatically adds it to the queue. If I right-click it, again, we'll get an already in queue, which is nice. Those are nice notifications to have. Right-clicking it on the left completely deletes what we had going on. So if I do this, it deleted the top. But because everything else relies on iron ore mining, it just gets nixed. So, iron ore mining, extractor, iron extraction. I'm going to want... Is electricity from oil our first electricity? Yes, so we'll do electricity from oil. I would like storage tanks. I need oil harvest. Oh, it's already in queue because of electricity from oil. Okay, awesome. I remember in the original, it was like a grid, right? It was like a big grid. Things were logically left to right, top to bottom, kind of laid out. This groups up things much, much nicer. The game is still paused, I know. Let's start with that. Oh, storage? Okay, let's get storage. Carbonite ore mining. I don't know if we have carbon yet. Let's start with that. So I'm going to unpause. And right now we're just kind of chilling. Research is happening. I'd like to start building, though. We only have one robot that's going to be doing anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for a total of 8. Let's get a hatch right there. Okay, I'm going to speed up time just a little bit. Like I said, I'd like to take this a little faster than our first time. We're no longer learning. We're going to take a lot of the good knowledge we learned from Season 1. We're going to incorporate it into Season 2. And it's going to be great. Very happy with all that. Our bots are being built. They're using our iron supply, which I need to be careful of because we don't have mining or processing yet. I'm going to speed up time just a little bit more. We don't have to worry about time. This isn't like Factorio or something where we're going to get attacked. We'll start the battle based on exactly what we have already in our options, right? If you do harder difficulties, or you can even turn on, like, the green faction, for example, will attack you once you have so many machines built. Actually, I want to turn down audio just... Turn that down just a scooch. That. Okay. Yep. This is also a really good thing. The developer is taking into note that if you are doing this for YouTube, you should shut this off, and it's defaulted off for limited amount of music tracks, which is completely fine. I appreciate that very, very much. So I'm just going to crank time a little bit. Like I said, I already know exactly what's coming up. We need mining capabilities. Iron extraction. Yep, hit me up with that good stuff, yo. Okay, we can slow down time a little bit. I would like an extractor. And I think we already have resource zones set up. We do. Okay, so to get iron ore, I'm just going to grab and place. All the robots are going to be our mining drones, and they're just going to go and fill this up. While they're doing that, shut that off. I'm going to turn this into that. Turn this recipe to iron. And that's going to get us some iron. It's just going to quickly pound out the cubes and chuck it out right into this other storage space. Don't forget, when the game starts, we don't even have storage. We don't have storage researched or anything. Yeah, just get that all full up so our iron reserves are back to the good. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, we don't even have a power generator unlocked until we do the research. To me, it feels like just the research alone has been taken like a colossal rework. It's been very, very good. Yeah, we're just going to be patient. We're waiting for research, and we're waiting for some more iron ore. We're going to need a lot of iron ore to do a lot of building. And until we have ships that do this for us, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Not too long. We'll probably get a lot done in the first episode, to be honest. And there's electricity from oil. Cool. We now have a fuel source. Now I just have to find oil, and we'll be good. When an asteroid is mined out, I think of at least one material, you get a new asteroid after a certain amount of time. So this resource is infinite, but it takes a lot more manual effort to get it, because we have to mine it, we have to process it, we have to whatever. We're not at anything automatic right now. So once the bots are all done, they're going to go ahead and just redock. Bit of a notification letting us know the mining is complete, and that's perfect. Our flagship at its current status is incredibly critical. It's doing research for us, it's handling a lot of things for us, and there's all that. So I'm going to take research in chunks. I could spend all 40k right now, but I think we're good. Let's do some exploring, right? I'm going to hover over the ship and hit J for jump. And let's just zoom in a little bit here. We're mostly going to be in this area for a while. Let's just check out some planets. This produces oil. We're going to claim the sector. You require iron in order to produce the oil. So right now, if I built a whole station, it would do us no good unless I'm bringing in iron. We're just going to do a little bit of claiming. Claiming also gives us a little bit of memory, which is nice. You require coolant. Coolant comes from water. We don't have the tech for that. Fuel comes from oil. I don't want to go too crazy. Okay, you have carbon. Also, the portraits are new. Before it was all female portraits, I believe, but now we have also male portraits. Got some real cuties up in here, dang. There's green. Let's do a little more exploring just so I can get a better idea of what we're looking for tech-wise. You'll also produce iron ore, but you need lenses. Okay, 10,000 energy. I'm going to wait on that. There's titanium. There's gold. There's nothing here. Let's check one more. Uranium. Okay, cool. That gives us a little bit of an idea of what I need to do next. So as it starts right now, let's take care of oil and energy. And even before that, let's make sure we have the tech to do it. So tank. I'd like the construction cannon. I would like planetary teleport. That's going to allow us to move resources from planet side to space station. I'm going to need some other tech. So let's right click on this. This will buy tech package 2 and water. I need coolant from water. That's going to give us the refinery. I also need... What else? Coolant. Fuel from oil. Yep, I need fuel. We don't have any copper need as of yet, I don't think. We have copper, but no one's demanding copper right now. Okay, while that research is happening, let's go ahead and get started. Now, there's two ways to build a station. There's clicking Build Station here. Then we get a little bit of a user interface that allows us to paste some modules as necessary. It's really, really cool, and I recommend you give it a try. For me, however, once I learned doing something one way, I'm kind of stuck with it. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just going to pause the game and I'll build a station core here. Oil station, maybe? I don't know if this part matters. It doesn't really matter. I could just left it as is. What we're going to do is we're going to add some wall segments. Badoop. And we're just going to... I'm holding shift. That's going to add a ton of working space. This is going to need some batteries. Batteries. There we go. Let's get started on the construction bit. So I'm going to grab my ship out of build menu. I'm going to hover over and it's going to give the construct orders. Let's add a little bit of time here. The bots are going to go grab materials. They're going to go and start building out the base. Now, why did I set this one up first instead of the iron one? Right now, iron is quote-unquote limitless, right? It's not that big of a deal. If I got to go mine more iron, I can go mine more iron. Right now, power is not limitless. Power is an issue. So I want to make sure we've got some power reserves in our coffers. While you guys are doing that, I'm just going to continue building a little bit more. There's also a ton more material, more products, more metals. There's a ton of stuff that's been added. I can't overstate it. How much extra content has been added. This has been very worth of an upgrade. It's going to feel a lot like a different game because, like I said, we're going to have to change how we do mining. We're going to need more miners to do processes. We're going to need everything. So we're just going to let that all get built out. When it comes to military, we're going to invoke a lot of choke points in our tactics. So right now, I'm not planning to build this out as a military hub yet. Not super worried about it. This is going to give us a good start, but when it comes to that, the choke points are what we care about. So here, right here, this is a choke point. Green can't just swoop on past. They have to stop here. Same thing if we defend this void, or Tanya 2. That allows us to blockade before they get into our core. So realistically, a couple of cutoff points is going to save us a lot of time. That's really the logic I have so far. And we're almost out of iron. That's okay. Yep, everyone come on back. We're going to warp and do another round of harvest. And just grab it right into the resource zone. That's all there is to that. In our Season 1, how that worked out was the planets already were producing materials. So there wasn't really anything else that needed to be done. You go grab, I think it was carbon, right? You go grab the carbon system, you go grab the iron system, or sector. Sector is probably a better word for it. And then once you have those sectors, you've already got the basis of production, iron and power. Pretty much all you need to get the game started. So we're going to be a little gentle here. I don't have infinite power. We're not producing power anywhere yet, but we'll get there. Text package level 2? What? Tech package 2. What? Tech package 2. What? They look adorable. The little robots scurrying about. Absolutely. So the goal of this game, just like it was last time, is to reach 1 billion people for true AI. Once we hit 1 billion people, that's game complete. So I'm hoping with the lessons we learned from the first season, like I said, we're going to be doing this much quicker. I'm not in a race, though. I'm not trying the ultra pro strats. This isn't going to be the best like how-to video when it comes to maximizing production, but we're just going to have a good time. Yeah? We're back to oil station. I try to name stuff based on its function. Maybe that's unnecessary, but when we see the list of colonies and stuff, this feels a little bit better when we see the listings of stations and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and pause again. Let's set up as if we're going to start receiving oil And I would like this to be like our first like raw template of everything. So, how do I want to do this? Oh, we do have tanks. So what I'm trying to do is set up not only... Let's see, this is just going to go power generate. We don't have refineries yet. So a little bit of spacing like this is going to do us all right. Nope, that's not how I had it over there. Something like that. And delete that, no problem. So why do I have it set up this way? Let's talk this out. This is called the planetary teleport. Again, it's going to warp resources to and from planetside. Planetside is going to produce oil eventually, but I'm keeping these extra tanks so we can stash up a little bit of surplus, and if we have any oil coming to this planet, it'll be a place to drop it off. Now, are we aiming for factor complete or perfect min-max? We're absolutely thoroughly not, kiddos. Just going to have a good old time. So that's going to fill in both of those. And then what I could do is I could probably take this as a template and move it forward. Well, maybe not actually. I don't really see many more ways we're going to use this, but let's go ahead and do that. Unpause. I'm going to set the planet teleport to bring in oil. And again, this is how you can do fast construction and connect stuff very quickly. I don't like to do it that way. I like to do it all manual. So I'm going to select you to oil. And I'm going to select the power to oil. We don't have fuel yet, and I just need something. So copy, paste, paste. Good stuff. Now let's get a little bit of power in you just to get the process started. Let's say 6,900. Nice. Now, to get oil fired up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this iron. I'm going to bring it over to constant demand. Our ship is going to warp planet side, deliver the iron that was in the ship, and now we have oil coming in. See? Power's being produced organically. Very nice. Now, we're going to eventually run out of that iron. And we're eventually going to run out of that iron. Let me try that again. We're eventually going to run out of that iron, and we're eventually going to run out of that oil. But now, we can take quite a bit more back. There we go. Much better. We're not going to have to do this all too often, but it's fairly critical to get these two parts done, and done correctly. We want to make sure we're producing iron somehow, which we are with our extractor, and we want to make sure we're producing power somehow. Now, we could incorporate that into a singular ship. We could have a ship go get oil, process into fuel or whatever on site, make energy, then distribute that energy. That's one way to do that too, but I prefer the system approach, or the station approach, I should say. Well, that guy's working on that. We're also going to build this into our research station because this is actually bringing power. Research requires memory and power. That's it. There's not other raw materials we have to spend like other games that require like science bottles or something. This is just power and memory. So, bounce on back here. Looking pretty good. If you ever interrupt the ship, so if I say jump and warp, all the robots warp right back. You don't lose bots. You don't lose anything halfway. So that's actually pretty good. Now this is going to start spending its own power reserves here that it's built up to do the research for us, but this will speed things up already very nicely. Coolant from water, very good. Okay, there's the power reserves all built up. And we're going to take this iron, kick it planet side. The way this station is going to operate is this is going to feed power to other ships that pass by. And it's going to distribute power to other stations. So we want to make sure... I'm going to local jump you a little closer. Even that's fine, thanks. What was I saying? Nope, I hit the wrong button. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Local jump. Oof, that was not a nice noise. Let's try that. Okay, M, that's what I wanted. Well, we'll have her called energy freighters. I call them. I don't know if that's the technical name for energy transports. They'll come here with their own battery reserves, pick up a bunch of power, and go take it to other stations, other ships, other whatever. So, Right now, again, really calm start to the game. Whenever I do any streaming or recording, I like to have a nice hot beverage. Could even be hot water. It doesn't have to be tea or coffee or anything like that, but just something to sip on. And it's times like this, like I've got 30 seconds to kill. We could crank up the speed all the way. No harm, no foul. But I find gaming to be generally relaxing experience. I'm not honestly one for competition. The most exciting game I'll ever really get into is probably Rocket League or something. Actually, I take that back. The most exciting game I'll ever get into is probably Spider Solitaire. That is even dumber. No, but I really appreciate everything this game has been working on. It's been a real delight to work with the developer. It has not any of it has been any time wasted. It's been a lot of fun. Taos is also, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Taos X, has also been very respectful of whenever I make changes or recommendations or whatever. Like, it's been very two-way street. It's been really cool. So our flagship is fully cheesed up with power. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this research bit. We don't need research on our station anymore. Let's see, do we modify the flagship or do we go right for, like, supplemental ships? We're gonna do one more harvest. Boop. And how much power are we kicking here? It's not a ton. Oil really has a very low, what would it be called, a caloric value? So realistically, we're going to want to build refineries and turn this into fuel processing pretty soon. Right now, we're doing okay. We've got plenty of extra power sitting there. Oh, research. We have a lot of memory. Yeah, this is more of that tree representation I mentioned before. I really like this view better. Let's see. Carbon nickel space teleport. This allows teleporting on the same platform. So let's go ahead and do that. With all our labs, zoom. Gold ore, silicon, nickel, electricity from carbon, copper ingot, stamper, fabricator, compositor. I kept calling that a composter before, and that was absolutely not correct. We're doing all right now. Not really in much of a rush. What I'm actually really excited for is to get more ships online. So what we could do, and what I sometimes do, is I break down the flagship and I have it like store more iron, for example. We do have storage Mark 1s, T1, Tech 1. So we could add some storage here, and when they bring the raw ore bricks, that'll feed into the storage, which will then feed into this, which will give us a lot more iron on hand to do stuff. Realistically, let's take a look at the loading areas. How much do we have? A potential of 77, a potential of 77. That's more than enough. That'll get us to building our next station, which I'm looking forward to. And Adhafera? It's either Ahdafera or Adafera, depending on what dialect you're going for there. It's either Adafera like Alfredo, or an earlier H, maybe. I'm not a language professor, so I have no idea. Normally when I find language that I don't recognize, I usually don't say it because I'm most likely going to cheese somebody off. I am what you would call a dork. A nerd. A dweeb. And that's fine by me. Not a problem with that. So, plan for this episode, we're already about the halfway point. I'd very much like to get the next Iron Station online. I'd also like to get some ships. We're looking for 3 real types of ships. A mining vessel, a transportation vessel, and a building vessel. Actually 4. We need an energy transporter too. So, mining, solid liquid transport, energy transport, builder. Those are going to be the first 4 types of ships we'll build. Now, speaking of ships and buildings and stuff, the game comes with a library of blueprints we could use. These ships are already designed. They work very well. They're clean, they're crisp, they're lean. There's nothing wrong with these ships at all. Me personally, I like to design my own. This game also comes with a couple of stations and a few modules if we wanted to do the module route. For me, like I said, I like to build my own stuff. So we're going to be doing just that. Mining complete. Thank you kindly. I'm going to pause the game. We're going to build up our station core. Oh, iron ore core? Iron ore core? My stations are mostly the same. I come to this little corner here, and I do something like this. And then I build batteries up here. Our more military-styled stations are going to be very different. They're not going to be all, oh, just batteries on one side, tee-hee. That's not going to be the case. Okay, go ahead and unpause. Now, for machines, we're going to build a very similar thing that we just did. Let's branch out just a little bit more. I'd rather give myself a little more space than not. You're going to receive iron ore. Thank you very much. Also going to set up some storage here. Oh, how do I want to do this exactly? 1, 2, 3. Iron ore is going to come here as well, not just from planet side, but also from other deposits and the like. So I kind of want to build this out so it looks like it'll be modular for other processes as well. 1, 2, 3, something like that looks good. Looks good. So, let's talk about throughput. These pneumo tubes can move 2 items a second. This is going to do something like this. So, if it comes from the planet, it comes to the planetary transporter. Planetary transporter, am I saying that right? Yeah, planetary teleport. If a ship is bringing iron ore, it'll be placed here. Might need to go get more ore before we do much more building out. But what I'd like to do is when we take the copper planet, for example, we'll use this exact same blueprint or module or station or whatever you want to call it. I keep calling it different things, so now at this point it's just like, yeah, whatever you want to call it. What is it? Yeah, stamps? Fine, call it a stamp. I don't care. We'll have something ready to go. Okay, and I'm sure we're almost out of iron. We are. That's fine. I'd rather plan it all out, make a couple of trips, make it look pretty good before we do too much with it. Can you just pop it up right there? Perfect, thanks. Meaning I'd rather turn it on when it's all good and ready and not a moment sooner. We could have just built very little storage and been like, okay, here's one storage thing, here's one extractor, done. Whatever, no problem. While they're messing around with that, we can go ahead and talk what this is going to look like. First step of this is going to be an extractor. Let's pause the game real quick. I do want to see the extractor recipe. How long is this going to take? Seconds to produce unit 1 needs 1 unit. So for every single pneumo tube, we can feed 2 units, 2 machines. So let's see, how would we make this look pretty good? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. That's not quite right. I need a little more room. Yeah, I need a little more room. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of want this to be as square-ish as possible if we can. Is it necessary? No. I think I'm off by 1. Rats. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag. I'm going to copy, and I'm just going to chuck it there. And then we're just going to do the same thing. Copy. I think that is correct. I actually don't know if there is a... Oh, did you not get the floor? Okay, now we did. I don't know if there's a cut command. But this is going to look a lot like this. Feed, feed. Feed, feed. Oh, no, why? Oh my god. Stop. Just, oh my god, stop. Boop, boop, there we go. One feeds into two. So now that we already have this that I really, really like, I'm just gonna snag-a-lag that, flip it horizontal style. Boop. I mean, that looks good to me. Let's go ahead and work with that. This is going to output into storage. Duh, right? Is this right down the middle? Nope. That is right down the middle. Okay. And delete. Am I looking for perfect symmetrical outlays? No, not really. What I am looking for, though, is to be able to hold a lot of this stuff. So that way, when we get orders that are like, I need 100 of thing or whatever, we can do it. This is going to look like that. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, that looks so good. How does that look so good? This game makes it easy just to make stuff look really, really good. We're going to do this a little bit. Okay, cool. Now that we've been waiting for that, how's this looking? Oh, just about. You've almost mined all the iron. So like I said, after all the iron is gone, I believe what ought to happen is the resources. I was going to say asteroid, starting with the letter R. Like I was Astro or something. Oh, the Rasteroid. Or Scooby-Doo or something. Well, that's doing its doing. So let's go ahead and get this built. Yep, you're out of power, and that's fine. Let's give you a little Jimmy Jam start. Cool. Let's go ahead and set all the recipes. You are going to make... You're going to hold iron ore. You are going to make iron. And I'm just copy-pasting the recipe into all the machines. Like, there's nothing super fancy, but we're getting quite a bit done here. So each of these holds, what, 50 or 100? 100, cool. So we have we'll have 400 theoretically in reserve. Once this all gets built out, we're looking pretty good. One more thing I want to make sure that we change. We'll go back to oil station. I'm going to right-click and set energy policy. I want you to give ships energy. Perfect. Now if a ship is like, I need 100,000 units of energy, where at? We know where at. Okay, I'm incredibly happy with this layout. This is gorgeous. It doesn't waste a ton of space. It does waste some space, but it looks very good to me. Cool. Construction complete. Now, oh, I need more iron. That ate all the reserves, yo. Get you some. Oh, let's see. Next is probably going to be either an energy hauler, a transporter, or a miner. Doesn't really matter which. But we need to get this raw material over to station side. What should happen is the rest of this iron ought to get tapped. And once it does, the entire asteroid will just poof away and then come right back. Which is super necessary for this start of the game because I don't have any nickel processing. I believe this is nickel? Nickel ore, yeah. I don't have the nickel ore tech or the extraction or anything, and I'd just be storing it for storing its sake. There we go. The way this works is we're cutting a chunk of the same asteroid. After a while, we'll actually mine through the asteroid, or whatever we could use, and the asteroid will just poof, go away. Then we'll just have to wait a while for it to come back. Easy stuff. That's looking good. I'm really excited to turn this on. So at this junction right now, I don't really need iron smelting myself. The miners are going to do this automatically, but I still don't mind my capital ship or my flagship to have the tools and everything. Like, I don't mind this. I'm not going to delete all this. What I might do is I might build a new flagship. In general, way more energy storage when we hit T2 batteries. Construction cannons would be really cool, but we're not quite there yet. Very good. Let's go, boys. And And we're done building. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this iron ore and we're going to transport it right here into storage. Look at that. Oh, that just hammers it out so beautifully. So much better. Does it say how much we have here? 77 iron. Oh, awesome. Okay. Oh, let's talk about ships. I have nothing in my custom, just to verify again. Let's pause the game. I need to build a ship. We'll place a ship core first. What I would want first is, let's talk about mining. Oh, miner T1. I like calling tech designation for stuff. Wall 3 segment. Yep, cannot build behind engine. So right here, can't build behind engine, which is completely fine. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ultimately, what I'm going to want is some storage. That's 400 material. That's probably more than enough. Pneumo tube. Oh, I should actually lay the rest of the floor, should I? There we go. That's better. I was like, why isn't this happening? That goes up. That goes down. That goes up. That goes down. Let's delete that. Now, how this is going to fly... The way in which this operates is robots don't understand storages. If I'm understanding that correctly, so they won't know to put it in boxes. What we're going to do, though, is, let's see here, 1, 2... Yep, 8 limit max. I remember. We'll also need batteries. Put the batteries like that. This seems like a little bit of a waste of space. Actually, here's what we'll do. Yeah, I need you guys to run for a very long time. Also, we're going to add a couple of T3 segments in here just to isolate out the battery compartment. I think that'll be good. That goes away. That goes away. That goes away. Let's lean this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There's already something there. Good call. Good call. Okay. Then... Oop. That didn't help anyone accomplish anything. Good stuff. Something like that. Resources and all have a gravity to them. Just copy to. Boop, boop. Easy stuff. Shut that off. So stuff will still want to fall down for whatever reason. Nope, I needed that one. Well, we are going to do those. We're just going to set this up. There we go. We'll also set up this way, like this. Nope, other way. Yes, sir. And that shuts off. This could be a really confusing part of the game if it's your first time with the pneumatic tubes. But it's good stuff, trust me. Super good stuff. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a level 2 height, which is going to allow me to build a hatch. Something like that. I think that looks really, really good. It's a ton of battery power. It's all 8 miners. I think that works great. I probably can't build a hatch right now, can I? No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. Can you slap that together, please? Our first ship, yeah? Not too bad. A little thicker than I would like, in all honesty. A little too thick. But I think this is going to do more than enough pressed into service. Again, it'll hold 400 materials. Maybe I should have turned that down to like 200 or something. But it'll do. I'm happy with it. I'll need that hatch, yo. Thank you. There's that. And I'm going to take the iron from this and stuff it into our coffer so we can actually finish the construction work. Now, while that's happening, let's set up a route. By hitting F, we can set up trade routes. We have an asteroid here that has traces of iron. I'm going to pull and let go at supply station. We set a priority, which is how urgent is it, and a batch. What's the minimum amount that should be drawn at any given time? I'm going to change it to 100, and I'm actually going to set the default to 100. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Thank you very much. Now, when we tell this ship, hey, you're a miner. You're a miner, Harry. This is going to go and do its own thing. It's going to check the transports table and say, hey, what needs what where? Oh, I need iron ore over here. I'll go get that. No problem. You got it, boss. No problem. We're going to top this guy off a little bit more. Full reserves. Now we're going to say auto logic, miner. Robots cannot... Oops, what was that? Oh, I forgot to set a resource zone. Let's say iron ore resource zone. Yep, that's my bad. Without a resource zone, nothing gets done. For robots. For construction cannons and stuff like that, it's not that big of a deal. Now let's try that again. Autologic miner. It'll change what it's going for every time. So just because I set it to iron ore, all I really did was create a resource pile. It'll change its own orders if it needs to something else. Let's go to oil station. Let's drop off all the iron we can. I'll take all this energy. Thank you. Yeah, top me off, please. Excellent. It's going to take a while for this to happen. Oops. That's an issue. You need to go up, my friend. I zigged when I should have zagged. And that's good for the test run. So what we've got right now is I'd like to turn this into a blueprint. Manage, save as a new blueprint, miner T1. Perfect. Thank you very much. So now, miner T1 is our newest custom ship. Yeah, so this is how the robots work. The robots don't understand storages themselves. So what you have to do is you have to create a loading zone or an unloading zone. They'll drop it off, and then we're just going to stash it into these storages ourselves. When the storages are full, or whenever they reach their batch quota, or whatever the case may be, they'll load and they'll unload from these storages, making them much more efficient, in my opinion. This is how I play the game. This is how I set it up. It works out pretty well. Nothing else I want to tweak? Nothing else I want to tweak. So we did get the second station online. We did get our first miner. I'm just going to crank up the game speed so we can see one good clean run. Oh, the batteries will last ages. These guys are just sipping energy, which is great. I thought robots were a little more energy hungry. Not the case. Not the case. Storage is getting pretty full. These first two are full. Now we're going to have way more mining ships. So don't worry about it. Okay, turning it down. Guys are coming back. Oh, no, okay. Oh, this area itself as well has to get full. So it doesn't actually just hold 400. It holds 400 plus, which is not really an issue. Oh. Packing up. Okay, let's slow that down. This should bring iron ore to here, fill up all our coffers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go ahead and top this guy off. Boop. Now that is iron ore. Now what I'll build is a transporter to get this stuff over to oil, because then that allows us to actually produce other materials. So yeah, this is great. This is enough storage. I'm happy with it. We could have pulled this out more and added more storage if we wanted, but I'm happy with it right now. Just for sake of argument, load up. That is so smexy. I love it. Go over to oil station and dump it off to the planet. Get a few more energy reserves going on. There we go. Okay, that's better. Again, we still have a lot of work to do there with fuel and such, but this is a good start. Poof. All right, let's design one more ship. I need ship. Transport T1. Thank you. Now, we were building it on the fly in the main map. There's also this. We can just tweak this right here in like a blueprint mode per se. So it doesn't really matter how you want to handle it. As long as you handle it, right? What I'm going to need is 1, 2, 4 storages, 4 tanks. This is going to be a very, very simple ship. There's not going to be any real frills about it. I just need something to get product from A to B. When we get to other materials and other metal types and whatever, composites, I guess would be the word still. When we get to other composites, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to build ships that are resistant to certain damage types. We're not at all there yet. We're not going to be there for a while, and that is A-okay. Something like that looks pretty dope. Let's put some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll segment this up a bit. And let's trim this out a little. There, that makes it look a lot sleeker, yeah? I like it. This reminds me of a ship from a game. I don't remember the actual title. We could trim this out a little more. Nope. I liked it the way it was. Put it back. There we go. That's... I don't remember what game that reminds me of, but it reminds me of a game, and that's all I know. Nope. I like a little more engine protection. Put that back. Can I build behind engines? That's fine. So this is going to be save, transport T1. Awesome. Build that up. It's a little chonky than I like, but it'll do. I'll take all that iron, please. I'd like you guys to start building. We could save this by using construction cannons and such, but I just want to get our first few ships going. Now, same thing with mining. I'm going to hit F and go to iron. We have to set up a trade route, the same way we did a mining route. So I'm going to grab the supply station, drag it right over to oil station. The default batch is 100, priority 4, perfect. So now we'll set this guy to being a trader, and he'll look for trade routes, not mining routes, and go from there. So let's just crank up this game speed a little bit. I'll take a little more iron, okay, thanks. So we'll get this guy going, and then we'll call this an episode. I think this is a really good start. I'm super excited because I haven't even gotten to combat yet, honestly. Like, with all the testing I've done, I've been doing a lot of low-level stuff, abusing the game a bit, just like testing the user interface and stuff like that. So I haven't even gotten personally to combat, and I'm very excited for it. There's automatic ship construction, there's fleet management, there's tons of stuff. I honestly cannot overstate it. I'm excited. It's gonna be good. Maybe we need another bump. Give us another bump of iron. Just get this done with. Construction cans are gonna make this process fairly mundane. Okay, so I'm gonna right-click you, auto logic, transporter. You're gonna grab iron from here, and then actually we'll just beat you to it because I need more energy. Yep. Thanks, mate. The ship got here, warped planet side, and there you go. Now the number changed. So now we have a much more consistent source of energy, iron, everything. Things are looking good, and this is not the end. Oh, patch him up, patch him up. Ooh, I want some too. Cool. All right, very good. Yeah, let's call us a break here. Thank you all for joining me. My name is JohnMegacycle. Our new season of Final Upgrade has kicked off. And yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.